if you guys pull up your WebAssign for 6.4, there's 2 questions that might have thrown you off a little bit. As people are working through this, they've been asking questions, and 90% of the things that they were having issues with were signs. Like, should have been minus a negative, and they forgot one of the, so if your WebAssign is getting marked wrong, and you're telling me, I'm doing it right, just erase what you did and rework it slowly. Write everything out, because it's really easy to miss a sign if you're trying to do some stuff in your head. These 2 are different, all right? I know they are. This question is like the cosine, this formula, right? If I could write. This formula is cosine theta equals, what's this on top that I just wrote? The dot product, good. And then what's on the bottom? The magnitude, okay? They're talking about the angles in between 2 vectors. Yesterday, I gave you the dot product, or I gave you the 2 vectors. You found the dot product, you found the magnitude, right? Then you found the angle. This is the same kind of question. It's just asking it a different way. So some of you may have figured it out and then tried to put in a decimal, and that's not what WebAssign wanted. That's not what you're going to have on your test. You need to have like a radical. But understand what this question is saying. They're giving you some information. What's the first 2 things you see that they gave you? They gave you the magnitudes. They gave you the magnitude of u, which is 4, and they gave you the magnitude of v, which is 64, correct? They also gave you another piece of information, which was what? Excuse me. What did they give you? They gave you theta. I will give you a unit circle. It'll be on your test for these questions if you need them. But why is that important, what they gave us? Somebody pull up a unit circle. You've got to have one somewhere on something recent that you've done. What is the ordered pair at 3 pi over 4? Negative square root of 2 over 2, comma, square root of 2 over 2, right? So some of you are like, okay, what does that matter? What does this formula say right here? Cosine of theta. Do you know what the cosine of 3 pi over 4 is? Negative square root of 2 over 2. How come it's negative square root of 2 over 2, guys? The x value of an angle that's on the unit circle is the cosine, correct? So think about what you're looking for. I told you yesterday, this was called the what? The dot product. Is the dot product a vector? Do we write it in like those funny vector things with a comma in the middle? What did I tell you the dot product was? It's one of the first things we wrote down. It's a singular value, correct? Some people got to this point yesterday and they said, now how do I figure out u times v? That's not what that says. That says the dot product. The dot product is one singular number. It's a value. I'm gonna make it a heart since we're close to Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna make it an x or a y. It's just a variable. But if I make it an x, you guys might confuse it with the cosine, whatever. How would you solve for heart? We'll call it. We're solving for heart. How would we do that? Say it again. Okay, get rid of the division. Could we cross multiply too? What about if I cross multiplied here? What's 2 times heart? 2 heart, right? What's 64 times 4? 256? Yeah? Okay. So when I cross multiply here, I get negative 256 times the square root of 2. And now I don't want 2 heart, I want heart just all by itself. So what do? Divide both sides by 2. So your dot product, your u times v, because it's a singular value, is negative 128 times the square root of 2, which is what the answer is here. When they give you the angle, it's going to be on the unit circle because they're telling you, oh, wait a second, I can figure out what the cosine of that angle is because I know that cosine of an angle on the unit circle is the x value. And you're not finding u times v, you're finding the dot product, which is just a singular value. Some people got this far and then multiplied negative 128 times the square root of 2, got some wacko decimal, and kept putting it in WebAssign. It was marking it wrong because they want an exact answer. So if you have a question like that where it gives you, like Jordan came in, she said, I have a question about the pi one. That's why. They're giving you the angle that they want you to use. I just want to see if anybody can figure it out. Now, number 14. Sure. I'm recording this. I'll post it too for you. Yeah, sure. So number 14. Everybody's got a question like number 14. You're going to see something like this on your test for sure. That's why I'm going over it, making it a big deal, recording it, putting it on YouTube. It says find the value of k such that vectors u and v are orthogonal. All right? This is a basic equation that you're going to solve. But you have to understand how to set it up and what you're looking for. First of all, what does it mean if something is orthogonal? They're perpendicular. Good. Very good. Their dot product equals what? Okay. That's important to know. This means perpendicular. They meet perpendicular. They meet at a 90-degree angle, yeah? So you'd have to find the dot product. Remind yourself again, this is a side note, but how would you figure out if the vectors were parallel? First over first equals second over second, right? Okay, just remember that. All right, so if we're trying to see if these are orthogonal or not, or if we're trying to find out the value of k, first of all, let's write our two vectors. Vector u, how would you write it? -3, 4. And then v, I'm going to write 2, -5. God bless you. I'm going to put a k right here with the 3 because do you see this k right here? You're figuring out what value of k will make these orthogonal. Remind me again, we just said it a second ago, but I'm going to keep saying it so we get it in our mind. What makes two vectors orthogonal if their dot product is what? 0. So let's find the dot product here, guys. First, right? -3k times first. Plus what? Plus what? Second times what? Second. If they're orthogonal, what would that equal? 0. Do you now know how to solve this equation? I think we can figure it out. What's -3k times 2? -6 plus, sorry, I need a k there, right? Plus a -20 equals 0. Same thing as -20. Do you guys know how to solve an equation for k? What would you do to both sides? I'm going to add 20. Good. So I get -6k equals 20. Correct? Now what? Divide by -6. And I get k equals, just leave it as a fraction because 10 over 3 is a gross decimal. So if you wanted these two vectors to be orthogonal, your value of k would have to be -10 over 3. And what is great about this is we can take this value and we can plug it in and solve. Let's go back to our original equation that we set up, this equation right here. If I plug it in here, I say, okay, -3 times, I found the value of k to be -10 over 3, times 2, plus 4 times -5. Does that give me 0? Well, this is -3 over 1, right? So what happens to my 3's? They'll cancel. And then what happens to both those two negatives? A negative times a negative is a positive, right? So this becomes 10 times 2, which is 20. Plus, what's 4 times -5? -20 equals 0. Does 0 equal 0? Yes. So all you're doing, guys, is just a simple equation. But the way to set it up, you'd have to know, well, wait, what does orthogonal mean? It means when I find the dot product, that product is 0. Well, how do you find the dot product? I'd have to say first times first plus second times second, and it should equal 0. That make sense? Now, if they asked what value would make these parallel, you would do the same thing. You would put, what's your first? -3k, so -3k over what? -3k over what? What's your first and the bottom one? 2? Equals second over second. So what over what? What's the second value in the first vector? 4 over, what's the second value in the second vector? -5. How would you solve this? When you have a fraction equal to a fraction, what do you guys do? cross multiply. So 4 times 2 is 8 equals 15k. Then divide both sides by what? 15. So your k value would have to be 8 over 15 in order to make them parallel. That make sense? Check that. So negative 3 times 8 over 15 over 2. Does that equal 4 over negative 5? Well, if we simplify this, this becomes a 1, right? You guys agree? And this becomes a what? 5? Yes? Okay, so now let's cross multiply. 4 times 2 equals, I have 8 over 5 times, actually it should be negative, right? Negative 5 over 1. What happens to my negative 5s? They'll cancel, so I have an 8 on this side, and what's 4 times 2? 8. So in order to make these two vectors parallel, you would have to, your k value would be 8 over 15. In order to make them orthogonal, your k value would have to be negative 10 over 3. The math behind that is fairly simple, but understanding how to set up the equation, whether the dot product being 0 or putting first over first, second over second, depending on what you're trying to find, orthogonal versus parallel. That make sense? Okay, so what does it say? Okay, good. 9i minus what? 9kj, all right. V is 7j. So think about this. In order to write a vector, you need an I value and a j value, right? So this u would be 9 comma, and then you can write negative 9k, correct? And then your second one, what's your I value? There isn't one, so it's 0, good. And then your j is 7. So if there is not a letter, it's a 0. If it's just the letter by itself, it's a 1 or a negative 1, whichever sign goes in front. Good question. Thank you. Sure. All right, so you guys have your WebAssign that's due tomorrow morning. You have to put it into WebAssign, get a screenshot so you can work on that. Or I have the test review posted. I do have the quizzes graded. I put the grades in. I'm doing makeups this afternoon, so I'll give them back tomorrow. You guys can ask questions, whatever. On the test, there's like 1 or 2, law of sines, law of cosines. The majority of the test is this stuff, because that quiz was really extensive. So